This is CBC Here and Now.
I'm sure you haven't put your shovels away, of course. Round 2 is on the way for parts of the island.
They told me that your son's life's taken away.
A family searching for answers after a son in custody dies.
We might get by a year or two at 13.5 cents, but then we're going to see it go up.
Despite promises to fix Muskrat's finances, people still worry about their power bills spiking. Good evening. We know more tonight about the death of a man in custody in Labrador. Family and friends in Natwashish are mourning Jacob Collins. The 22-year-old man was found unresponsive in his cell last Thursday, and he later died in hospital. His father, Joel Patrick Rich, was also behind bars at the Labrador Correctional Centre at the same time. He was released the day after his son's death. Here Now's Ariana Kelland reached him by phone in Happy Valley Goose Bay.
They told me that your son's life's taken away. I was asked the CEOs to bunk with my son at 3:45 at p.m. and after 4:20, and my son was suicided himself.
You had asked the guards if you could stay in the cell with your son.
Talk to him, yeah. They denied to stay with him.
Do you know why you were denied?
I don't know why they denied. They never gave me the answers. They never spread information to me.
When was the last time you spoke with Jacob?
The last time I spoke with on the Ferry 4 at the door around 10 o'clock in the morning. Cell door.
And you asked him if he was okay?
Yes. And he said, I'm okay, he said. And I told him to take care of yourself. He likes sports. I think he likes walking around in nature and doing drawing stuff and art.
Now, Rich says an autopsy is currently underway, and after that, he hopes to bring his son's body back to Natwashish. Collins is the 6th inmate to die in a provincial correctional facility in 2.5 years. Now, if you've got an issue or a story for us, get in touch. You can email us at hereandnow.nl@cbc.ca or send us a message on Facebook or on Twitter at CBCNL. Well, despite promises from the government to keep power rates low despite rising costs associated with the Muskrat Falls project, many people with monthly bills are skeptical, and they worry they're going to be facing huge increases. Here Now, Cease Hare spoke with a couple of those skeptics today.
I think a lot of people are worried and anxious, I guess is probably the best way to put it.
Sherwin Flight's Facebook group normally helps landlords and tenants tackle rent legislation. But in the last few days, that's changed since the PUB released its report concluding government needs help to keep power rates from huge increases. Flight says many members of his Facebook group already struggle with their monthly electricity bills.
They're having trouble paying power bills already, and, they're saying, if they increase a whole lot more, they're not going to be able to. And, for some people, it's not a matter of, juggling some things around. They just say there's no way that they'll be able to do it.
Our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren are going to be paying dearly for this mistake.
On the other side of St. John's, retired telephone company engineer Don Hutchins says he's trying to lower his power bill. A few years back, he switched his oil furnace over to electric, and this past fall had 2 mini splits installed. And even though his usage is now down by 1/3, he predicts he will have to pay more for electricity because he believes rates will go up anyway. He says there are too many red flags with the Muskrat Falls project.
And there's 5 major components in a project cost study. The initial cost, the operating costs, the study period, the revenue stream, and the interest rate. We don't know anything about those yet. Nothing definitively.
And those unknowns have convinced him that power rates will have to go up to pay for what he calls this mistake. Cease Hare, CBC News, St. John's.
So with some people remaining skeptical, the Premier now out trying to sell people on his plan to keep power rates low. Still lingering questions that the Premier tried to answer today by making the rounds on call-in radio shows. Here now is Peter Cowan joins us live tonight. So Peter, why is Premier Ball making these rounds?
Well, as you just heard from people in Cease's piece there, people are skeptical. For years, charts and numbers were all used to convince people that Muskrat Falls was going to be a great project, but now that the project is facing billions in cost overruns, everyone is making sure to take a second look at information they see. Whiteball came into CBC today to take questions on crosstalk. He has to convince the public that his complicated deal with the federal government will deliver something simple, hydro rates that won't skyrocket.
This is about reducing the dividends so that the money never goes to Nalcor from your power bills. They just stay in your pocket on day one.
But it's not just the almost $13 billion construction price tag people are worried about. With Muskrat Falls expected to cost $44 billion total in the coming decades through interest, dividends, and operations costs, some people are worried whether a small province can take on this big burden. The Premier insists today we are not headed to bankruptcy.
This province is not going bankrupt. This province still has a tremendous amount of assets. It has a federal government. We're part of a confederation.
But the province's plan isn't finalized. It still needs to convince Ottawa to give it cash today in exchange for profits decades from now. Just how much and at what cost isn't finalized.
Monetizing revenue streams is nothing foreign, it's nothing new. This happens quite often, and so far they have shown support to be able to do this. They understand.
The clock is ticking. Those details need to be worked out before Muskrat Falls is commissioned.
Well, Peter, obviously there are outside observers, there are bond rating agencies and other provinces. How is news of this deal going down in other provinces?
Anthony, the key province that I was curious about was Quebec, because in the past, Quebec premiers had been adamant. They had been vehemently opposed to any help from the federal government with Muskrat Falls. But that's not the reaction we got today from Francois Legault. Here's what he said to reporters in Quebec City this afternoon.
It may have a huge impact on the price of electricity for Newfoundland. So I think it's normal that they speak with the federal government to get some help, like we're doing during springtime when we have all kind of problem.
Now that response may take some people by surprise, but it's clearly a sign that a different premier signaling that a different kind of relationship is building between Newfoundland and Labrador and Quebec. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Peter Cowan for Here and Now.
Newfoundland fails to collect some tax revenues that other provinces collect.
Is taxing unincorporated towns a partial fix to help the province's finances? That solution was floated at a conference today. Terry Roberts has that for you in just a few minutes. And later on Here and Now?
There are these seamless barriers that still exist between us that really hold us back from developing our full potential.
Should municipalities on the Northeast Avalon figure out how to better share resources? The issue arose during last month's storm. Carolyn Stokes tackles that with former St. John's Mayor Dennis O'Keefe.
Some of us had to dig out this morning, or at least clear off your cars. Then a beautiful afternoon for the most part. That cloud cover has moved back in, and that's ahead of our next weather maker starting to get organized just off the coast of the U.S. there. A warm front's going to push a little bit further north as we head through the night tonight. It's going to bring some snow with it starting overnight tonight. The main areas that will see the snow will be eastern Newfoundland and the Avalon. We do have some warnings in place right now. Snowfall warnings for the northern portion of the Avalon with blowing snow advisories all the way up through portions of the Gander area as well as Bonavista North. So that's where we're looking at. I'll tell you how much snow to expect, how long to expect it coming up.
Thanks, Ashley. New year, same old travel problems on the Strait of Belle Isle. Ice often hinders transportation between Newfoundland and Labrador, and 2020 is no different. The Kayak W left Blanc-Sablon with icebreaker help, but it couldn't dock on the St. Barb side due to heavy ice, so it had to go back to Blanc-Sablon. One passenger told CBC it's less of an ice problem and more of a ferry problem.
It's not like Artie guys. Like, I've been fishing my own vessel there now for 25 years, skipper my own vessel, and I've been out sealing and shrimping in the springs, you know, like through ice, and been stuck in ice, and the Coast Guard come and get us out. But like, this is only bay ice, this is the first year ice, right, what we got here, and this vessel just can't get through it, as she haven't got the power, you know, to get through this ice.
Well, his home was meant to be a fresh start for him and his family, but after fire scorched and gutted his property over Christmas, Tyler Bennett has been left to pick up the pieces. He's struggled with addiction and he's served time in prison. Not easy to get back on track. Here Now's Troy Turner has the story of Bennett's latest setback.
He yearns for a simple life, a steady job to support his family, free time to enjoy the land and set some snares, a roof over his head, which is his biggest challenge right now.
It's going to be really hard to try to find a place big enough to hold 5 kids and 2 of us, you know what I mean? And to be able to afford it, so I really need to get a good job, like, or something. I need to try to think of a way that I can make this happen.
His grandfather's old cabin in Mattis Point was home. It had no electricity or water, but he lived there for the past 4 years. He was happiest at the cabin. But fire ravaged that home Boxing Day while Bennett was in Cowhead for Christmas.
This was my home, yeah. I had everything that you could think of, all my dead father's tools, everything. My wife had a baby pass away. She had all stuff in there belonged to him, stuff that's irreplaceable, you know what I mean?
It was a major blow. Bennett hasn't had it easy. His life was mired in drugs, crime, and violence. He did time in prison for his role in an armed home invasion. Included were charges of breaking and entering, possessing a prohibited weapon, and being disguised. He's worked hard to get clean.
I've seen a lot of violence when I was younger, right? And alcohol and drugs and stuff and parties. So I thought that was a normal life, right? I didn't really know until I was going to school and then going to these people's houses and then they're living like normal life and it's not hectic in the house, no tension or nothing, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a big difference when you realize, okay, well, it can be a lot better, you know what I mean?
He wants to get back to Mattis Point with his wife and kids, but there are struggles.
I just need to learn how to go about it better, you know what I mean, and take the right steps to better my life. But it's hard because I've been doing a lot of drugs since I was younger and that, and I pretty much brainwashed the best years of my life doing drugs and that, and not learning the stuff that I should have learned, you know what I mean? And now it's taking an effect because I don't know how to go about certain things the right way. And
he's looking for work now and tries to stay focused and positive.
Trying to do it day by day and one thing at a time, but it's hard doing that too because like you don't see much process. It kind of gets you down in that, but I'm trying, man.
Troy Turner, CBC News, Cowhead.
Well, in a St. John's neighborhood, the problem this morning wasn't snow, it was water, a lot of it. A ruptured fire hydrant sent water gushing into the air at the KFC parking lot on Rope Walk Lane. That caused some flooding, as you see there. City crews were on site trying to contain it. Developer Vic Lawler told CBC all the wintry weather apparently damaged that fire hydrant. The city eventually managed to get that shut down. Well, an update now on a St. John's charity that's on Rope Walk Lane. Take Two secondhand store has had its own share of financial setbacks of late, and on top of that, multiple break-ins. Empower, that's a support group for persons with disabilities, it runs Take Two. A local cab company heard that story about hard times and wanted to do something. So this week, Newfoundland Cabs made a donation to offset the charity's recent loss of $3,000, a lot of money for a charity like this, and that was replaced with $3,000. And that was enough to move Kim Dawson to tears. But the head of Empower says they aren't in the clear just yet. Sales are way down, so she's pleading with the community and the government to continue to support the store. Have another update now, this time about those stolen midterm exams from Exploits Valley High. The school district confirms what you saw on Here and Now. Students got a key to the school and they broke in at night to steal those tests. Now, students involved were offered amnesty to come forward and admit if they happened to see that exam before they wrote it. But based on the high marks in the test results, the school district doesn't think that everybody fessed up. They believe fewer than 40 students took part. As for the thieves, well, the school district says that action is being taken, but the consequences, and this is a quotation, will be kept between the students and school administrators. Well, are there reasonable solutions to the financial predicament facing our province? It's a major question, a big one, and it was the basis for a conference today at Memorial University. As Terry Roberts reports, one professor believes more taxation is part of the solution.
A comment like this would not be popular in most rooms.
Newfoundland fails to collect some tax revenues that other provinces collect.
But this was the type of out-of-the-box thinking being encouraged today at MUN's Signal Hill campus, where academic, political, and business leaders gathered to talk about the fiscal monster that is battering this province and ways to tame the beast. There was the usual reference to what is widely regarded as a spending problem.
If we want to do the right thing, again, for our children and for our grandchildren and for the future, we don't have a choice. We need to act.
And government's approach to trimming costs through attrition, cutting expenses, without shocking the economy.
We cannot put any additional pressure on businesses or people in the province without facing other significant challenges such as outmigration and a further rapid aging population.
But it was this professor who proposed a more radical approach, like taxing unincorporated municipalities.
We're talking about $350 million relative to the average for other jurisdictions in the region, simply to adopt the kind of property taxation systems that we see in other provinces.
And charging more for ferry services like this one to Bell Island.
Is it more important to deliver very low-cost ferry service or to free municipal services for some unincorporated areas, or is it more important to fund health care as a core responsibility of government?
Some special interests have been calling for a gutting of the public service, but Williams sees a better way, one that politicians might not like.
That's an important part of this conversation, to ask the question why it is that if we're in crisis and we're headed towards bankruptcy, why is it that we have tax rates that are lower than the other Atlantic Canadian provinces? This is a strange choice. Small increases in tax or in ensuring that the tax system is more fair and equitably distributed is a better choice than simply slashing public services.
Williams admits there are no easy choices, but says the consequences of inaction or political paralysis just might be more painful. Terry Roberts, CBC News, St. John's.
This is a place to borrow tools the same as borrowing books from a library. But this nonprofit organization is struggling to pay its bills after a slow winter and being shut down during last month's state of emergency. We'll find out what they need to stay afloat coming up.
This weather update is brought to you by the NL 511 app. Know before you go. Check road conditions, highway cameras, and the provincial plow tracker with the NL 511 app.
Well, I think most of us know something is coming, but before we get there, today, not such a bad day at all.
It was
right?
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, all that sunshine, you have to take the sunshine and enjoy it.
While you can.
While you can, because it's one after another,
Yep.
like you said. Temperatures today, not too bad either if you got out at all. It was lovely.
Yeah, was pretty good. Take a look.
Currently sitting at in those minus single digits. Not quite as windy as yesterday's, so those wind chills don't feel as bad, just dropping it by a couple of degrees. Up through Lab City, though, you're still feeling closer to about minus 16 right now. So, like we said, saw a beautiful sunny afternoon for the most part, and then the cloud cover moved in. That's in ahead of our next system that will move in as we head through the night tonight. You can see not a whole lot happening on that radar, just some wispy clouds moving through, but that will increase as we head through the night tonight. So here's a look at that area of low pressure. After midnight is when we should start to see that snow for the southern half of the island as well as the Avalon. It'll eventually spread north as we get into the early morning hours. The northern peninsula, you won't see that until the afternoon. So the first half of the day for you actually looks pretty lovely. But those winds are going to stay generally light tonight along the west coast and then pick up in the morning out of the southeast for the areas along the northeast. So 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. Temperatures dropping just a little bit more for St. John's, -4, -10 for Grand Falls, Windsor. Corner Brook down to about -8 tonight. And then we've got similar temperatures into the minus teens up through Labrador. You're going to see that potential for some flurries overnight tonight, but generally light winds and or winds easing through the night. Now, here's a look at our current warnings. This is ahead of that system. So blowing snow advisories from Gander, Bonavista North, all the way through to the Bonavista Peninsula, as well as Clarenville. And then the heaviest snow at this point looks like it'll be for the northern portion of the Avalon, including the metro area. So this is what I'm thinking snowfall-wise, 2 to 5 centimeters along the west coast, progressively more as you head towards the east. So areas in the gray, 5 to 10 centimeters. 10 to 15 for portions of the eastern portions of Newfoundland. And then I'm thinking probably in the metro area even, we'll probably see a little bit more than 15 centimeters, more than likely less than 20, but that's what we're looking at. It'll fall pretty quickly, start in the early morning hours, and then by 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, that should be over. But areas along the south, you're still going to see that potential for some freezing rain mixed in. So here's where we're sitting wind-wise. You're going to notice those winds, like I said, will pick up in the morning, 60 kilometers per hour for the most part, out of the northeast. And then as we head through the day and that low tracks across, those winds will shift out of the west, and they're going to pick up a little bit. So we should see gusts somewhere between 70 to 80 kilometers per hour, hence that blowing snow advisory. So here's where you'll be sitting temperature-wise, hovering around that 0-degree mark down again along the southwest. So you're going to see the potential for some freezing rain. Otherwise, just blustery day, reduced visibility is expected through the day. Gander sitting around -2. Generally similar temperatures across the board. Maybe a few peaks of sun along the southwest as that low moves offshore. And then up through Labrador, you're generally looking at a quiet day, mild temperatures for Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and really along the coast into those minus single digits. Same for Lab City, but again, as a little area of low pressure moves through, you're still looking at the chance of some flurries.
The St. John's Tool Library is feeling the pinch. Business has been slow this winter for this nonprofit organization, and last month's state of emergency certainly didn't help. Joining me now to talk about the situation is volunteer Jonas Roberts. So first of all, can you describe how this place works?
Sure, it's works just like a regular library. Members pay an annual fee, and then they're able to borrow any of our tools from our inventory, take them home for a week or so, do their projects, and bring them back. If you take out one power tool, that's basically your annual membership paid for. But also, it's bringing people together, it's building community. We act as a platform for other social enterprises like Ordinary Spokes and the Baby Clothes Library, where we share space and financial platforms. We also really make do-it-yourself accessible. Like our lowest membership fee is $50 a year. It means that you don't need to have a fully stocked tool shed to take on a big or small project. It means that you can really be creative with your time, and you don't have to worry about investing so much in tools that you might use once a year or once in a lifetime.
What's the situation here now? You guys are struggling financially. How did that happen?
So this is it'll be 3 years in March that we've been open, and we've been seeing steady growth both in membership and the number of tools and the number of rentals that we've had taken out. As I mentioned, it is busier in the summertime, and we usually have a pretty significant lead up going into Christmas, so gift membership sales. We also have a couple seasonal workshops. Both of those things didn't bring in as much revenue this year as we were expecting and as we would have hoped. And also with the state of emergency, we were closed like many other places, well, every other place, for a week and a half, and that really impacted about half the potential revenue that we would expect to see in January as well.
Oh, that sounds like a lot. How much money do you guys need?
So to get us through to spring, it's around $2,000. It's really just a cash flow issue. We're not worried at all about the long-term viability. We have a great group of volunteers, a lot of fresh blood coming in with some great ideas and energy. So it's really just to make sure we can pay the monthly bills right until spring. We were asking for cash donations from our members, but the ideal situation would be to attract new members. It would make us more sustainable in the long term.
All right, well, thank you so much for telling us about your situation, and good luck.
Thank you for coming in so much.
You just came from Mount Pearl?
Yeah.
To Southlands and St. John's, and now we're going back to Mount Pearl.
Last month's storm highlighted a municipal cooperation gap on the Northeast Avalon. Has the time come for better coordination among the cities and towns? Carolyn sits down with former St. John's Mayor Dennis O'Keefe to talk about the R word, not the A word, the R word, regionalization.
Welcome back. Last month's record-breaking snowstorm and the confusion created by neighboring municipalities declaring different states of emergency have renewed a decades-old controversial conversation. Why isn't there more regional cooperation? And dare I say it, why don't places like St. John's, Mount Pearl, and Paradise amalgamate and become one big city? I met up with someone who has given that a lot of thought.
Today is a typical grandfather day, a typical pappy day. So I'm here to meet the boss in order that my grandchildren can come here, spend a few minutes at home, get a bite to eat. Then I'll take them to their different activities. I'll take Kate shortly to swimming at the summit.
Dennis O'Keefe is picking up his grandchildren to bring them to after-school activities. They live in the St. John's neighborhood of Southlands but attend school in Mount Pearl. The majority of their sports and recreational activities are also based in Mount Pearl. I tagged along with the former St. John's mayor as he drove his 11-year-old granddaughter, Kate, to swimming lessons.
Short drive through St. John's and back into the city of Mount Pearl.
And Kate, you go to school in Mount Pearl, right? What school do you go to?
Newfoundland Elementary.
Okay. So you just came from Mount Pearl?
Yeah.
To Southlands in St. John's, and now we're going back to Mount Pearl.
There are these seamless barriers that still exist between us that really hold us back from developing our full potential.
And not so seamless when you look at what happened during Snowmageddon, because you had the state of emergency in St. John's, the state of emergency in Mount Pearl. One was lifted before the other, led to all kinds of complications.
Yeah, you know, Carolyn, had we had one cohesive emergency plan, maybe the whole closure of the municipalities would have taken only 2 or 3 days because we'd all be working together. Certainly people Kate's age have no real interest in or sense of that they're going from one city into another.
We share so much. The municipalities share a lot of services already.
We share our water systems. We share our wastewater systems. We share regional fire department. There's a lot we don't do. We don't share economic development. We don't share recreation facilities.
Like this one?
Like this one. This is a great facility. My grandchildren love it here. 10-minute drive from here in the not too distant future, there will be a big city facility not far from here. Might it not have been better to pool our money and build a superplex that would serve all of us?
You've been talking about amalgamation for many years in your role as mayor of St. John's and beyond.
And before, yeah.
But it's become a dirty word over the years, amalgamation.
It has.
A lot of people find regionalization much more palatable. What is it about amalgamation, do you think, that just people just put their hands up and just walk away when they hear it?
I think it's because it's been on the table so long that people are tired of it, people are afraid of it, people resist change no matter what the change is. Amalgamation means change. The arguments are, yeah, we want to keep our identity. Well, nobody's going to lose their identity.
Why not?
It hasn't happened in the past. I mean, you keep your identities. People who live in the Goulds are still a separate entity as a part of the city. Downtown St. John's, Rabbit Town, Kilbride, Shea Heights.
All parts of St. John's,
all
but
part
still
of
have
the structure that we call St. John. Forget the city and look at the structure.
So what do you think it will finally take for all of the municipalities to come together? Will it be generations from now? People like your granddaughter Kate, when she's in a leadership role, will it take that generational divide?
If we don't do it, then I think they will. It will evolve because they're so used to it now. They won't have the barriers that
or the baggage.
I'm glad you said it and not me. I was waiting for that. Or the baggage that we all carry in terms of our past. I suppose we can continue on the way we are until we reach a wall. Yeah, but it's not to our benefit to do that. I've become more open-minded on it, and I've come to realize it's time that we all put our heads together to come up with a structure that will benefit all of us.
Amalgamation, regionalization, whatever you want to call it, it's still a very interesting conversation after all these years. Thank you so much for sitting down with me and revisiting the issue.
Thank you, and I do think we have to move away from the old terms because the language means a lot too, and get into creating a new structure, and if it's got to be done, let's do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Food for thought from Dennis O'Keefe, someone who sat in the decision-making chair at St. John's City Council. Now, we are working on bringing several mayors together to have a chat about this topic and hash out some of the things Dennis O'Keefe just talked about. What are the benefits and what are the obstacles in regionalization? We hope to bring you that conversation in the days to come. Anthony?
Thanks, Carolyn. Well, staying with Dennis O'Keefe to some point, you may recall a few weeks back we did a special show. This was to mark John Crosby's death. Of course, there was that funeral, the state funeral. And during that show, somebody read excerpts from Crosby's memoirs entitled No Holds Barred, and that someone, well, that just happened to be former Mayor O'Keefe. Now, at that conference that Terry Roberts told you about earlier on Here and Now, O'Keefe started today's session much the same way, with a John Crosby quote about how politicians don't tell the public the truth when it comes to the state of government finances.
Don't want politicians telling them that there will be cuts, making them face the issues, and forcing them to participate and take responsibility for what will happen. They want politicians to take all the responsibility. They want us to deceive them. Then, when we get elected and have to make cutbacks a few months later, the public can feel to be outraged, to denounce deceitful politicians, and to claim we lied to them and we cheated them. The public doesn't want, won't accept, and will not support honest, forthright, and truthful politicians.
Well, national news, normally bustling passenger and freight trains remain suspended today between Toronto and eastern points such as Ottawa and Montreal. 6 days ago, members of a Mohawk community set up camp near the tracks to show their support for anti-pipeline protesters in British Columbia. Well, today, Ontario police arrived hoping to end the rail line standoff.
I think you made a point, and I think a lot of people have heard you. And I know I'd really like to go home, and I wonder if maybe you guys would like to go home now too, to your families.
This is our home. We are home. You're on our front lawn. We'd like you to go home too, please.
You're up tonight if you want to go home.
Well, the OPP team arrived along with a court liaison officer who formally posted a court injunction at the scene. That states that interference with regular rail operations are illegal. Police have so far made no arrests in the makeshift protest camp. Demonstrators plan to stay until RCMP leave Wet'suwet'en territory in northwestern BC. So from Victoria to Halifax, protesters have been blocking ports as well as railway lines. CN Rail says it will have to temporarily discontinue service unless the blockades end. A federal office complex in Gatineau, Quebec is getting its air tested. For years, workers have been complaining of mysterious illnesses, and they say the place is infested with cockroaches, even bats, who are flapping about leaving their droppings around cubicles. But as Amanda Pfeffer tells us, there may be even more to worry about.
I have seen Japanese cockroaches.
Sophie Lavoie has not been working long at the federal complex, but long enough to know her cockroaches.
I took a picture, and with the app I was able to identify the bug that was walking on the desk.
The federal government commissioned air quality tests. All but 20 of the 260 workers surveyed reported some symptom. 1 in 10 reported being treated for a respiratory illness. 1 in 20 reported an immune system-related illness. Last fall, one of their unions circulated a petition to tell government the situation is urgent. The union released this video, a bat flying above the heads of workers. Bats and their droppings have been a problem for years. Dr. Jennifer Armstrong has treated some of the workers at the Terrasse de la Chaudière, and she says the biggest culprit is likely not the bats.
I would say all of the symptoms you just mentioned could come from mold.
Dr. Armstrong says the clue is in the survey itself, where a third of workers say they have seen visible signs of water damage. But mold is not being tested until next summer. And some worry that bureaucracy may be getting in the way of a more rapid response.
The problem is that it takes so much thinking, it takes so much funds, it takes so much effort that it's easier to fix what is in front of us, what is the most pressing, and let the bigger picture be put aside.
The big picture, daunting for this worker on her very first day.
Well, I mean, it's not something you want to read when you're starting in a new ministry. Hey, by the way, there's bats that may fly over your head. Welcome to the office, I guess.
The parliamentary secretary for the minister responsible is telling workers that this ongoing testing is supposed to help identify the problems so that they can fix them as quickly as possible. Amanda Pfeffer, CBC News, Ottawa.
The final group of Canadian evacuees from Wuhan, China are now in Trenton, Ontario. The federal health minister was in Toronto to discuss the response to the virus outbreak. Patty Haidu says Canada is well poised to identify and treat potential cases.
This is our global contribution to reducing the risk of a pandemic. If Canada can take care of its own country in terms of reducing our rate of infection, in fact, we're supporting the entire globe's population health.
Now, Haidu says Canada has sent a plane load of supplies worth about $500,000 to China, which has been dealing with a shortage of masks and other essential items. Meanwhile, at CFB Trenton, officials say none of the 188 who arrived today show any symptoms of the virus. The new evacuees, along with the 213 who came in late last week, they will remain under quarantine for 14 days. The number of confirmed cases in Canada remains unchanged since last week. Currently 7 cases. Well, in China, Beijing is not under as tight a lockdown as is Wuhan, but with about 340 cases of infection, it's considered one of China's most at-risk cities. And for weeks, most residents have stayed at home. The normally bustling capital has become a massive ghost town. The CBC's Asia correspondent, Sasha Petrusik, brings us a rare point of view.
Ride onto the streets of Beijing these days,
and feel the echoes of an epidemic, its eerie emptiness.
In the middle of a regular day here in the center of Beijing, these streets would be jammed with cars. But ever since this virus arrived, well, see for yourself.
Beijing's avenues this desolate for weeks. Its old backstreet hutongs barren. Empty subways, empty malls, empty airport, closed schools. More than 20 million live here in one of the world's megacities. But life is on hold behind the barricades of every housing complex. It's getting a little uncomfortable being stuck here, says Zhang Jinggang, who spends his time learning how to cook, dumplings mostly. But it's safer to stay at home, he says. Too much coronavirus. Those who don't hide away face checkpoints and temperature screenings. Officials looking for the telltale signs of disease, high fever. Neighbors have also been known to report each other if they suspect infection. And then, as in many videos uploaded to the internet, teams of suited police come to enforce quarantine. Is that the best solution?
We don't have anything else to offer at present.
Ian Lipkin is an American epidemiologist who's advising the Chinese government on how to stop coronavirus.
I would say the only thing you have is isolation, and unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be voluntary. It's difficult.
Out in the streets of Beijing, there are those who don't accept that. Zhao Saijin plays outside with his daughter. This virus can't be prevented, he says. If we're going to get it, we'll get it. We can't have the whole country locked inside. And yet, 3 weeks since the crisis started, much of it still is. Sasha Petrusik, CBC News, Beijing.
The weather update is brought to you by Belltone, your partner in better hearing.
Well, we're about 8 minutes away from today's viewer picture. But if you hung around last night, we had a little exchange about animals that get on those pictures. And I mentioned that we get a lot of dogs. How about some cats? And you cat people helped us out.
Like almost instantly. It was wonderful.
It was like that. So stay tuned, feline people, because I think, insider information, I think Ashley might have a snowcat photo tonight.
I do.
All right,
Yeah,
perfect. Now, we know what's coming tonight and tomorrow because you told us about, what about the aftermath of all this? How's Thursday looking?
Well, we're looking at a little bit of, it's going to quiet down, which is good. So a little bit of a break, another break. So it's been one storm after, apparently my batteries are dead. Nobody can hear me. I know you're just going to have to give me your mic.
Here.
Or
take mine.
Get me some batteries.
Take mine and hold that.
All right, let's just do that for now, and then we'll get batteries. I'm going to take your batteries. There, you got me now? Hopefully? Okay. Then let's go to figure out what we're going to talk about now. We're looking at, like I said, a little bit of a break in the weather for the first half of the day, and then the next system will move through. It's not looking like it's going to be too significant. We won't really see too much snowfall with this, except along the west coast. We're going to see some more snow. This one will probably bring another 5 to as much as 10 centimeters in some of those higher elevations as we head through the day on Thursday. That'll move through quickly. Then we get back into that northerly flow. So you're looking at temperatures dropping, especially up through Labrador. Lab City down to -23 by the morning, -14 for Happy Valley, Goose Bay. And then we've got those temperatures in the minus single digits for the Avalon and most of the island. So really not moving much as far as those temperatures go over the next few days for now, but they will do that as we head into the weekend, and that's because we've got a cold pool of air that's really going to start to dominate as we head into Friday, certainly up through Labrador, bringing some of that colder air further south as well. And then as we get into the rest of the weekend, those temperatures are actually going to climb up a little bit. So here is Thursday night. Another low will skirt south of the island. At this point, it doesn't look like it'll bring too much in the way of accumulation, just a few centimeters. And then again, that northerly flow. So we get back into the potential to see some squalls through the day on Friday, especially along the west coast. Some sunshine in play as well, and then an area of high pressure moves to the south. So that should actually clear some things out for parts of the day on Saturday. And then back into another little disturbance that will move through on Sunday. So you're going to see some snow with that. And then by Monday, the next system looks to move in. It's a little too early to talk about it now, but we could see some mixing for portions of eastern Newfoundland. So here's a look at the next 5 days. There's that drop in temperatures I mentioned, and then right back up as we head into Sunday, -1 by then. A few peaks of sun, though, it looks like, for both Friday and Saturday. And then for central Newfoundland, you're going to see some snow right through Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday actually look pretty lovely but quiet, so it'll be a nice day to get out and enjoy that sunshine. For Sunday, -3 with some flurries moving right back in and overnight lows dipping into those -teens. So for western Newfoundland, again, that squall-ish setup will move in. And that means that you're going to see generally gray skies for the next 5 days with temperatures gradually warming as we head into Sunday. And then for eastern Labrador, -14 for Thursday. Friday, we're looking at some flurries. And then Sunday and Saturday and Sunday, rather, your temperatures will eventually climb back up to about -9. Now, for western Labrador, you're going to be in the thick of things as far as those cooler temperatures go. Overnight lows dipping into the -30s, wind chills probably feeling closer to the -40s for parts of that as well. So when I come back, I'll have that nice weather photo for you.
And you beat me into the blooper reel in 2020, Ms. Brawweiler. It's an honor I usually cherish, not this year. In international news, an important day today. South Africans commemorated a major milestone 30 years ago, and it's one that still brings smiles to faces around the world. It was on this very day that Nelson Mandela was set free after 30 years of imprisonment.
The 11th of February will forever be remembered as one of those most memorable days in the history of the world.
The president spoke from the exact spot that Mandela himself delivered his first speech in freedom in 1990. Ramaphosa noted that Mandela would find great challenges, but also much to be proud of in contemporary South Africa. Mandela would ultimately become South Africa's first black president before retiring from politics entirely. In 1999, he remained a global advocate for peace and social justice and an elder statesman admired right up to the time of his death in 2013.
It's be a little difficult to tell you where this is to, but isn't that a great shot? It's playing with the snowballs. I don't know many cats that like snow. That's not a thing, is it?
No, they hate water, but I guess that one likes snow for some reason.
Well, it's frozen water. It's easier to play with.
Beautiful.
All right, I'll tell you where this is to when we come back. There it is. What a great shot, isn't it? Louis catching snowballs. Jessica Andrews sent us that shot from Clarenville. Thank you so much for sending that in. And if you have any weather photos to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Way to go, Louis. You made the show, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.